Good morning, Phil Pollitt here, Sutton About Town Realty in Waterdown, Ontario. It's March 4th and spring is in the air. So actually it was minus 14 on my run this morning, but I'm going with spring is almost here. I'm going to do a recap on Waterdown for the end of January, end of February I should say. And I'm going to show you 5 years here. End of February sales, we were up 8%. Of February of last year, and it's actually the same number of sales as 2 years ago in 2017. 2016 we were actually at 34 and 2015 at 39. So what you can see here is actually interest rates dropping, and that's when our market started going crazy. Last year everything had kind of balanced out, and we're actually gaining a little bit of ground on last year. Probably the changes we saw last year have kind of worked their way through. Months of inventory is always an interesting story. We are at 50 homes for sale or available for buyers to buy as of the end of February, and we were at 50 homes. It was almost the same as last year, down a little bit from 53. So inventory backed off a little bit. Back in 2017, that's when our market was crazy. We only had 23 homes available, and in 2016, 33 homes, and in 2015, 37 homes. So end of February, we had 1.85 months of inventory. Again, that's actually a super low amount of inventory. So the demand is still quite strong and not a ton of houses for buyers to pick from. But buyers are being a little bit choosier at the same time, so we're still riding in a balanced market at 57% for sales to list. And to put it in perspective, average months of inventory in Canada was actually 5.3 months of inventory end of January. So we still have probably the tightest inventory in the country at this point. Actually, I haven't seen the Canadian stats out yet, but I'm pretty certain that that number is pretty low compared to just about everywhere else in the country. I always like to compare it against Burlington. So if I take a quick look at their months of inventory, they're just a little bit higher at 2.18 months, which again, really quite low. And they almost did the same thing as Waterdown as far as the number of sales, and they were up 8% from the same month last year. So really a healthy market. There's not a lot of homes out on the market. Supply is still tight. I know the Toronto Real Estate Board, I was reading an article there a couple weeks ago, and they're basically saying that they're lobbying the government to reduce some of the regulations and increase the amount of buyers that can get into the market. I'm not sure I quite understand that, because our months of inventory is really, and our supply is really low, but there's probably a lot of outside communities outside the GTA that are probably still hurting from the mortgage regulations and stress test that was put in play. But around here, we're still really tight on inventory, and very similar to that of Burlington. GTA, or those numbers will probably be out today or tomorrow, but I haven't seen them yet, but I'll bet you they're running between 2 and 3 months of inventory as well, which is still quite low. So any questions at all about this report or about your home in particular, I'd love to catch up and go for a coffee. Have a great day. Bye for now.